set on first down. Stafford is back. It's T.J. Watt.
Welcome back to 5-Star Matchup. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe now, and please consider joining our Patreon for just $4 or $7 a month. Well, Steeler Nation, coming off a much-needed bye, do we even know anything about our 2023 Pittsburgh Steelers yet? Are they so bad they're good? I think we're about to find out. This week, we find ourselves in another one of the Steelers' homes away from home, this time the friendly confines of Los Angeles, to be greeted by an adoring sea of terrible towels. Oh, how good it is to be a Yinzer. Out trots the beleaguered second-year man Kenny P, and he gets this one started with a neat little dump off to the Naj man, who, as I've been saying for weeks, needs to get more involved in the pass game, and today, he did. 2nd and 2, though, and Pickett's persistent lack of pocket presence strikes again, and he goes down like a sack of In-N-Out burgers, but there's absolutely nothing animal style about another Matt Canada 3-and-out to start the game. Out trots Super Bowl winner and former Georgia Bulldog Matthew Stafford, who opens this one with an easy completion to the All-Pro Cooper Kupp. Oops. No worries for the Rams, though, because the Steelers haven't been able to stop the run for going on 5 years now, so Darrell Henderson just casually strolls out of bed and across the graves of Travis Kershke and Casey Hampton for a gain of $1 million. A couple plays later, though, Stafford finds himself behind the 8-ball when who else but Alexander the Great screams around the edge, forcing Matt into the waiting arms of Larry Ogunjobi for the drive-ending sack. D holding tough early on. Back to the boys in white, and we're back to their suddenly burgeoning ground game? Oops. I mean, first down? 2nd and 7, and while the Rams send a little pressure, Pennywise the Clown whispers, "Hey Georgie, you want a first down?" And the Steelers offense is on the move. Can anyone guard George Pickens? In my professional opinion, nah, son. Few plays later, obviously feeling himself, Kenny figures, fuck it, George down there somewhere. But SoFi's 400 million BTU air conditioner blows the pass just a smidge out of bounds. Back to the Rams, and why keep their backs against the wall when you can just go ahead and let their backs off the wall? More running leads to some gunning, and here it's Spooky Pookie, who today continued the tradition of wide receivers going absolutely nuts on the Steelers defense all year. Remember when Mike T said he doesn't get lost in obscure statistics like that? More running, because why not when you're getting 10 yards a clip, but on 3rd and 5, the Mink Man says no mas, with the sticky sweet stop behind the line, putting the Rams in position to try a long field goal, which, boink, score stays bagels. Old Kenny Comeback hits the finally returning DJ to get the drive started, and boy was it nice having back number 18 today. Really felt like WD-40 for the offense. Peep this double on George way out of the play if you don't believe me. Oh, but Steve, 69% of 5-star viewers say Najee Harris is bad. Really? Because after we watched him tear it up down the stretch post-bye last year, I'm not going to just ignore the former captain's ability to rally. Naj looked great today. Couple plays later, though, again, it's that iffy pocket awareness by the young Mr. KP, who leaves the pocket a hair late and goes down for the drive-altering sack. However, in an oh-so-beautifully symbolic sign that things are turning around, that same number 8 hits Deontay, who has absolutely no chance, is easily going to grab the first and some extra. Just so you can't say the Steelers got all the calls today, I'm conceding that they did in fact get a few, but this foul on George is just so corny. Drive stalls out, but who the hell cares when you got the ice-blooded, brass-balled kicker with the heart of gold, who you already know is... Steelers on the board first, 3-0. More nice front 7 stuff here for the Steelers D, who did settle in pretty well as the day went on. It's weird that they continue to struggle early, but in the wins they have adapted as the games went on. The losses? Not so much. 3rd and 11, Stafford gets enough time in the pocket for his wife to make her famous tater tot casserole, and while waiting patiently, he flings a rope to his man Cooper Kupp, who makes a slick catch for one of his only impactful contributions of the day. Also, Kelly Stafford's tater tot casserole absolutely sucks. Don't eat any. Seriously, you'll regret it if you put some on your plate. Are you really gonna, even after okay man, your funeral? It's all good because Kelly isn't the only Stafford missing the mark, as her man chugs an ugly duckling for an intentional grounding that completely derails this drive for the boys in blue. You're really regretting taking some of that casserole, aren't you? I told you. Over to the Steelers offense, and just as quickly as they came, they leave again. TJ Watt, Nick Herbig absolutely dusts this soup can of a tackle for a thunderous sack of the statuesque Stafford, and all I can say is wow. Watching this in real time, I legit thought it was TJ just from the way the play looked. 3rd and 11, and trust me, the last thing you want to do here is have someone within 20 yards of Puka Nacua. Yeah, definitely think you should just let him have his space. A couple plays later, though, Joey Jr. makes me eat my hat by absolutely smothering the physical Nacua and batting the pass. Peasy the Younger continues to impress more with each passing week. Even this jabroni can't miss from 41, and the Rams tie it back up at 3. What is this, 1964? Plenty of time for the Lurs to be aggressive, be aggressive, and here Kenny's slinging it back shoulder to who else but his man Curious George, who is suddenly putting together a massive sophomore season. The chemistry forming on these passes is becoming a superpower for this offense. Rams bring the house and get home on 3rd. Why does Pickett spin here? Just run the way your body is already facing, but he chucks it to save face, and all's good that punt's good as King Press makes his triumphant return to 5-star with a great boot, pinning him inside the 15. Rams smartly get the clock chewing with a couple of runs, and on 3rd and 3, the Steelers revert again to their classic too much time and too much space routine on D, which goes, as you might expect, disastrously. Rams threatening before the half. A few plays later, Stafford takes a page out of Kenny Pickett's playbook by spinning and winning. He escapes the rush and lobs a prayer to Tutu Atwell, who takes it in for the demoralizing touchdown just before half. Just oof. The kind of play you hate to see. Steelers were honestly counterpunching quite well until now, and the worst part is, the Rams get it first after the half. Rams' goofy kicker shanks the extra point, but Rams take the lead into the half, 9-3. Hi everyone, I know you're probably gonna skip this part, and that's cool, but I just wanted to ask you to do me a favor. For once, that doesn't involve signing up for my Patreon. I'm currently going through the very sudden loss of a family member. I'm okay, but what I ask for you is to call someone that you love that you haven't spoken to in a while. Just talk to them for 5 minutes. Hell, you can tell them to watch 5-star matchup if you want. Just do it. Now roll the game. Out of the half, Stafford steps, drops, and throws a quacker right into the arms of cornerback number 1, aka 2023 Defensive Player of the Year, Trent Jordan-Watt, who makes an unbelievable play in coverage and nearly takes it to the house. Chandler Parsons, eat your heart out. This is an absolutely unreal play for an edge rusher. And as if TJ needed to improve anything in his game this year, he's taking his turnovers further than ever before. Too bad he can't score, but the offense has to do a little of the lifting sometimes. 1st and 2nd down, Najee does his absolute best to get something out of nothing. God, this team sucks in the red zone. And he gets it to the 1 where sneak goat Kenny P, aka the second half killer, tumbles into the SoFi end zone like an 8% student loan interest rate hitting my bank account, and the Steelers reclaim the lead. Pittsburgh 10, Rams 9. Absolutely unbelievable catch and throw here between Stafford and the Rook, and just in case any Steelers fans out there were wondering whether Nacua was all hype, I think this game proved he so obviously isn't. Beastly toe tap that holds up to review for a gainer chunk. Speaking of that very same Samoan rookie, catches a crosser here for a killer 1st down conversion, and Mike Tomlin continues to shake his head at obscure stats like yardage given up to wide receivers. Donning their blue and gold best in the business zone, the Rams try a screen that actually catches the Steelers off guard, but can't get it home. But that's okay because Henderson smashes it in to reclaim the lead for the pesky Rams, who are matching the Steelers every step of the way. Rams go for and get the 2. Cooper Kupp's only real impact of the day, I guess, and the Rams are up by 7. Kenny gets him going with easy money to DJ, but a holding call kicks him back, followed by an almost oops that's very luckily not picked off over the middle, and it was right at this moment that I began to think the football gods were on our side today. More on that later. Forget Pfizer and Moderna, the Steelers need a run game vaccine. They still can't stop a run up the gut to save their grandmother's lives. When does Cam come back? Rams and converting extremely annoying 3rd downs. Name a more iconic duo. Pretty far up the list of things you hate to let happen, a plotting 15th year quarterback running for a crucial 1st down. 2nd and 9 though, Higbee short arms in fear of the absolute hammer KZ was about to drop on him, and on 3rd, the rush forces Stafford to dump it to nowhere. Thankfully, their kicker is still very much not money, and he shanks another. Man, that air conditioner sure is strong, isn't it? Mike is all of us in this moment. Another week, another horribly pathetic yardage disparity graphic for our Steelers as we head into the 4th and final stanza. 3rd and 8, Pickett remembers it's the 4th, and that's winning time, so he stands in the pocket and fires a damn rope to his man Deontay J, who gallops down the field whooping and swooping his way through the Rams D. Forget WD-40, we're just gonna call this man DJ-18. Man, oh man, was his return needed. Cover that, dweebs. In the business known now, the Steelers toss it back to the electric bowling ball Jaylen Warren, and you're not gonna get there on the ground. I mean, he slices through the D for a San Andreas fault-rattling touchdown. Okay, now I'm convinced Matt Canada is overacting for the camera after that weird-ass shot last week, but hey, he's entitled. Go off, King. Rams immediately find themselves in a 3rd and 3, and would you look at this damn coverage by Peasy Jr.? You can tell me he's not the best corner on the roster, but you'd 100% be wrong. Start this man. Let me get a Mick pick too. Clutch Kenny hits his boy George Finger Pickens, who's strumming his old banjo on an easy little slant route, can't double him and 18, and the Steelers are suddenly holding all of the momentum in this one. Silly taunting penalty knocks him back a little, rather say whoa than sick him in the words of Mike T, but the Steelers have to find a way to get this one down the field. 2nd and 7, just hand it to Mr. Warren, who's always been a great friend of the sticks. He comes up a bit short, but once again, it's the goat sneak Kenny P plowing forward for an easy conversion to keep the drive and clock moving. Does this guy even have a front shoulder? Kenny Powers, I mean Pickett, shouts you're f***ing out as he slings another rope to Georgie P on what is becoming their absolute superpower. Ben had AB on crossers. Kenny's got George on these. Love it. Wait, is the run game working? Burnt toast alert. Hope you got a smoke detector because the shifty Deontay toasts this poor DB into oblivion for another easy conversion. I cannot express this enough. 18's return is possibly the most singularly encouraging thing that's happened on this offense all season for me. Gonna be huge. 1st and 5 in the zone, why not go to that man we call Bowser Jr., aka Connor Hayward, who is an oh-so-sweet receiver on the run and I think needs to be involved in games more. I know he defies classification, but as I say every week, dude's just a good football player. 1st and goal and things look messy, but is that the quarterback calling an audible? Kenny gets him in order and the Najman blasts through for his first rushing score of the season and the Steelers' 3rd of the day after posting none all season until today. Don't look now, but your Pittsburgh Steelers are out in front. 24-17. Back to stagnant Stafford and the Rams, and because of course this is going to come down to the wire, they get the drive started with what I think is a pretty cheesy illegal contact called on Pat Pete, followed by another very legit run up the gut. I fail to understand why teams don't just run it down our throats like the Vikings did a couple years ago, but thankfully they don't. 3 consecutive plays here though, the pass rush and coverage converge on the veteran signal caller who can't hit a single toss, and let's not get this twisted. 2nd-year man Kenny Pickett absolutely outplayed the Super Bowl winner in the second half today. More encouraging signs from number 8 as his 2nd year continues. Over to the boys in white with a chance to close this out. Oh no. Bring back Gunner? Just kidding. Deep in their own zone, will the Steelers have any confidence in their young offense? Najman gets him moving with a slice up the middle. Make no mistake, he was excellent today and will still get 1,000 yards this season if he stays healthy. Book it. And on 3rd and 3, my stars, the Steelers are throwing deep and down the middle? I could just die happy right here and right now. Kenny's got on his big yellow hat as he rifles this one to Curious George for the field flipping toss. Still time to drain though, and the Steelers hand it to their two-headed monsters Naj and Jay, who both get stuffed. I'd have been slinging, but I get forcing them to take the timeouts. Will be huge in a moment. And on 3rd and 7, Kenny flings one to DJ, who can't make the catch, but being the oh-so-savvy vet he is, draws a game-altering pass interference on former Steeler Akello Witherspoon, who, yes, needed to go, and I could care less what his PFF grade is. Another oh-so-dumb taunting penalty offsets it though, can we not? And just like Jason Voorhees, this game refuses to die. Gotta have it 3rd and 8 with the game on the line, and Pickett goes to his man AR-11, who is oh so close to a game-sealing first, but of course he's just short because f*** me, right? And that sets up our
5-star
play of the game.
It's Pickett, the sneak, and he looks to be short initially, but did he get that ball across the line to gain?
Kenny P, the sneak god, falls forward against the Rams' ferocious front for what is a shocking and perhaps somewhat questionable 1st down to seal this one for the Steelers. Remember what I was saying about the Rams using their timeouts? Now, I don't know if this gets overturned on a review, but I do know that because this happened on the outside of the 2, the timeoutless Rams are unable to challenge, and thus, you can put this one in the books. While I know this isn't exactly the most climactic play of the game ever, I felt it somewhat symbolic. This game just felt like the Steelers won in all 3 phases. They had the most impactful defensive play of the game, their quarterback threw literally only 1 incompletion in the second half for his cleanest stretch of his career, and the very same Mike Tomlin that a lot of us have been talking junk about all season came off the bye week and absolutely bodied one of the best coaches in the league with an airtight game plan. So what if they needed a smidge of luck to get it done in the end? You gonna tell me the Rams would have scored if they got it back? Not a chance. We just would have had another chance for Tej to pad the stat sheet. Say it with me. Your Pittsburgh Steelers are 4-2. I can't explain how we got here, folks, but we are most certainly here. You might be dreaming of pumpkin spice lattes and spooky ghosts, but headed into week 8 and beyond, this commentator is dreaming of offensive improvement, rushing touchdowns, and dare I say it, a potential playoff berth? All in due time, my friends. See you next week. Here we go. If you're still here and you're wondering why the production quality of this episode maybe isn't as tight as it normally is, it's because I'm unexpectedly traveling to deal with some real life stuff. I appreciate you watching each and every week, and I'll make it up to you next week with my typical quality. Oh, and you know, if you want to throw out some love, patreon.com/5SMU. Do it if you dig us.